a lot of people come to my adopted town of Cortona, and I can tell they're on a quest. They're not just traveling for fun to go to the winery and out to lunch. They're there for a reason, and I so recognize that when I see them in the piazza. And I think that's one reason I wrote Women in Sunlight, because I wanted to give life to these women who were there for some reason having to do with making changes in their lives. And I think that's the secret behind a lot of travel, is that you want to make a change. You might not know what it is, but you feel something out there pulling you toward it. And that's something very important to pay attention to, is what is pulling you. What is pulling you? I feel that often, and it usually gets me in a lot of trouble, gets me into new directions. But the other reason for writing Women in Sunlight was a kind of tribute to friendship, because that's been one of the greatest joys of my life, has been my women friends. And I was having, this sense of getting older and seeing what was happening to a lot of women, seeing women prematurely shut down, not only women really, but a lot of people. They get this message when they get older that it's over, your shelf life's up, give it up, go to an assisted retirement active center or something like that. And I saw friends of mine beginning to consider things like that when, I'm ready to go off to Egypt, and I think, why not? So I wanted to give these older women a big choice and to let them have it. I gave my women characters everything they wanted, just about, because I think it's still possible at any age to make life-affirming, huge changes at the last minute, as Grace Paley said, enormous changes at the last minute.
When I got my first colonoscopy, which was now over 10 years ago, I wrote a column about it. And as you say, it became extremely viral, because everybody at some point has to get a colonoscopy. And I tell people, definitely, I was afraid to do it. A lot of people afraid. Definitely do the colonoscopy. It's not, they give you wonderful drugs. I mean, so good that when it's over, you go, hey, let's do that again. The one thing is the preparation for the colonoscopy. I just need to say, they have to clean you out. I don't want to get too explicit here, but they give you a nuclear laxative that is so powerful that your bowels travel into the future and you expel food you have not even eaten yet. So that's the one kind of negative part, but everything else is just a piece of cake, if I may use that expression. It's not really appropriate, but that's, yeah.
Well, and I have to say, I have to quote something here. So you were talking about the nuclear laxative. You go, have you ever seen a space shuttle launch? That is pretty much the movie prep experience with you as the shuttle.
Yeah, they should put a seatbelt on the commode to hold you down. I mean, are we getting this is pretty not very tasteful.
It's humor, it's funny stuff. We've veered off the rails.
It's medically important to know this.
And I think there was a very special moment in your procedure where there was some romantic music.
Oh, yeah. The guy who gave me the colonoscopy, his name is Andrew Sable. He's still my gastroenterologist. He's a great guy. He's a good friend. But they were playing music, and as they were like putting you under, and you're like in a vulnerable spot. You're like, you're wearing that one of those surgical things that really makes you feel more naked than if you're actually naked. You know what I mean? And there are people in the room. They're not all of your gender, whatever your supposed gender may be. And I'm like kind of fighting because the guy's putting the needle in and he's saying, you're going to fall asleep now. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to fall asleep in this situation. And the last thing I heard was Dancing Queen by ABBA, just blaring. And so I ended up writing about that in the column. And when I went in for my next colonoscopy 5 years later or whatever it was, sure enough, Andrew waited till just the moment I was just going under and it blasted again. So that's my official colonoscopy song. I recommend it to everybody.